Hello everyone, welcome back to this third series of Postman. So in last series I have shown you how to trigger the GET request, and if we are triggering then we are getting this response. And I have shown one more example. So like if we are sending any invalid ID, then we should not get any response. So this is the expected behavior of this API. So in today's series, I am going to talk about how to add the assertion. So in last tutorial, we have seen the output. So in this output, if we are not verifying anything, right, then there is no way of automation. There is no use of the automation. So in other way, I can say like assertion is the backbone of automation testing. If we are not asserting, then we are not verifying any response. So example, if I can say like here total page should be 12, and if we are getting like 0, then that is the invalid, right? Raise the defect and we should assign and we should talk in our team. So how to verify this? To verify this manually we can do, right? We can see nowadays in Postman we can use the assertion, so that is very good thing. So we can add the assertion for this key. Total we should get a 12, then test case should pass, otherwise test case should fail. So let me show you how can we add. Okay, so let me update this background as white. That would be the visibility would be very good. All right, now background is white. So here we can see this is a parameter, authorization tab, and headers, body, pre-request, script, test, setting. These are the things. So if you want to add some assertion, then we should use this test tab. All right. So let me copy this. So this is the response I'm getting. Let me click on send. So this is the response. Okay. So in this response I'm going to add some assertion. So okay, so let me use some editor. Okay, let me format this. All right. Okay, now it's good, right? We can clearly see the proper response. All right. So in test tab we can write the assertion in the form of JavaScript. So how to start? So first I am going to print this response. So how to hold this? So to hold this we should write this like pm. So here this is auto suggestion, that is very good. It is giving auto suggestion pm dot response. Here we can see here, right? Response dot json. All right. Okay, let me create one variable for holding this value, and let me assign this. Okay, so let this is the variable. So in JavaScript this is how we can create the variable. All right. So how to print? So to print this, like whether it is holding the value or not, so we can say console dot log, and here I can say here responses, and here in Java we should use the plus operator, and here we should use the comma. Okay, so res. Okay, so if I trigger this send, right, then it should print this response. So where it should print? All right. So here in bottom we can see one console. In last video I have already discussed, right? So this console, let me open this. So let me clear. All right. Okay, let me hit here. So once I hit, and here you can see this message. Okay, in test I gave like this response is, right? So here I can see here response is. So by default will get like all the information here. But if you want to print as per your convenience, so this is how we can do. If I click here, right, and right, So if I open this array, we can see this value. Alright, so this part is clear how to hold the response. So this is how we can hold. Okay, so let me come in this editor. So in this editor we can see here, so where this curly braces started, this is called the object. So this is, in this object we can have multiple sub objects and array as well. And this is a key and value. All right, base, this is a key, and what is the value? Just 2. And this is the one object. So inside this is the one array. So here we can see this is the array. So data is the array which is holding the objects. So curly braces, this is the object. So object 1, 2. All right, so if I want to read some value from this, how can we read? Or in other way, how can we parsing the data? So if I want to read this 0 index, right, of this array, and I can say in this array on of the first object. Okay, so I want to read this missile, this email ID. All right, so how can we do? Okay, so let me. Okay, so we are holding the response, just we need to parse. So directly I am saying this console.log. So email ID of first index is. All right. Okay, so, this is a complete response. All right, now dot data. So why I'm saying, so here you can see here, this is a reference data. All right, so data. And so whenever we are seeing any array, so we should give the index. So which index I'm going to read value from? 0th index. And so it will go in this. So if I print this, so it will print this whole data, this 0th index. So let me run email ID. Okay, email ID, those response dot. Okay, I made a mistake. I should use the comma separator. All right, so here we can see here it is giving the whole response. All right, but still if you want to parse email ID, so dot email, because there is a inside is one key email. All right, so if I hit, then I should get the proper email ID. All right, so similar, if you want to read this value, so I can say like res dot page, then I should get the value of this 2. All right, this is how we can parse. This is very straightforward when we are having very complex JSON, right? So that time we need to put some effort. So those complex scenario also I'll cover in future. So today let me go through all the basic concept, how can we parse, how can we assert the value. So that is very very important. All right, now let me move on to the third example. Like, okay, so now this is what we have seen. So if I want to assert any value, whether are we getting this correct email ID or not, so how can we write the test cases? Okay, so we can write the test cases in this format: pm dot test, and after this we can say verify first index email ID, and comma, here we have to say function, and here we have to start this block. All right, now pm dot expect. Okay, so this is how we have captured the email ID, right? So let me use this block, and here let me say dot to dot equal. So here we are having multiple equal. So I'm going to talk about two equal, one this equal eql. All right, and here let me give this email ID. Alright, so let me, okay, looks like some mistake here. I did a mistake, and this would be like this. The final bracket, this would be closed at last here. Okay, so let me trigger, and here we can see a test result, one pass. Verify first index email ID. This is pass. Okay, so let me fail. Okay, so let me use double N. Right, now let me trigger. This fail. Or we can see here this message. Okay, so verify first index email. This is coming from here, this message. All right, and here expected is this, and deeply equal we are getting this I double N at last. That's why it failed. All right, so let me correct it. So let me show you one more thing, like EQUALS equals. So we have one more method here, EQL and EQLS. Let me trigger, it will pass. Okay, so there is a difference in both EQL and EQALS. So what is the main difference? So EQLS, this uh, this EQUALS, this verify the objects, but it will compare one object to other object, and EQL, this verify the value. Like one value is like simple, I can say here, this verify like this equal to this. So equal in other way, in Java it work like this, double equal to. So where if object value are same, then we are getting the true, and equal, it is uh, simply verifying the value. If one value matching with another value, then it returns the true, otherwise it returns the false. But in this case, if both value are matching same and objects are different, then we'll get the false result. In this use case, equals. Okay, so let me show you the example how can we do it. That is, so that is very important to understand the concept. So how to, okay, so pm dot test. So example of equal and EQLS. Okay, example of equal, I'll say. Okay, example of equal and function. All right, so let me declare some variable. Let a equal to this, and here I'll say fruit name apple. All right, this is done, first one. Let me create one more. Let b equal to, and let me copy paste so that both should be the same thing. All right, now if I, okay, so this is correct, this is correct. Now if I write pm dot expect a dot to dot equal equal, and here v. Okay, so this is an example of equal. So in equal I have said, like, if both values are matching, then it should return the true. So here I have the two object a and v. All right, so both are having different objects internally. and both are having the same value. All right, so if I execute this, I should get the true because both contains the same value. So let me hit okay, example of equal. All right, now let me copy paste this whole. Okay, let me example of equal equals equals. All right, so everything is same, equals equals. So in this use case, value are same, okay, but objects are different, right? A and b. So if I trigger, then this will fail. Let's see. So here we can see here example of equals this fruit this to equal this. All right, because of this object it is failing. So hope this is clear. So let me move forward. Now I'll show you next example. So one more thing. So here on the right hand side we have one snippet that is very good thing. This is Postman. So right, we can't remember all the syntax what we need to use. So that's why Postman is providing a very good snippet. So if you click, it will uh, it will give you the proper syntax. So let me show you one important thing. So let me give you one contains string. So above, so last time we have compared like two email id. So on the index of 0 we are verifying this. So let me copy this the same thing. Okay, so down we, so when I click on this response body contains a string, so automatically, so wherever your cursor, where it will automatically type this code. So body matches string. All right, and this is the syntax. So what, just we need to update some value to verify the exact value. So what we are going to assert. So okay, I can say body matches string. Okay, so email format verification of first index email. All right, so this is what last time we have used, right? So we are equaling. Okay, so let me copy this part. So email will get from here. All right, now I am going to verify this last thing. It should contain. Okay, so what I'm verifying. Okay, let me comment this line. Let me comment out. Okay, so in this test case, I am verifying the format of the first index email id. So this is the email id we are getting from the response. In that response, I am verifying whether that email contains this req dot in or not. If it contains, then test case will pass. Otherwise, test case will fail. All right, let me execute this. Okay, email format verification of first index. All right, so this test case got passed. All right. Okay, let me correct this as well. Okay, let it fail. No problem. So we have one more way to verify this. Okay, just let me show you all the possible way how can we try it in another way. So we can use contains as well. Con, okay, contains. All right, so if I trigger, then it will pass. If I modify anything, any one of them, it will fail. Here, email form verification of first index email, assert, we are looking this to include this, so it failed, right? Okay, this two way, either we can use dot to dot include or dot contains, so we'll get the same result. All right, so one more thing here, we are seeing this assertion, right? Whatever I'm writing this this code, or we are using a snippet, so what they are using, the Postman, they are using the chai assertion. So I have, I think, okay, I have opened. So Zaman chai assertion library. So if you want to, use some different assertion, just go through this assertion, this page. You will get some better idea how can we use different assertion, because in this snippet they have covered very minimal assertion, like, but that is very sufficient, okay, for the beginner. But still, if you want to write some complex scenarios, then go through that page and you can write very easily, and your concept would be more clear. All right, let me move forward. So I am just keep adding all the use cases here. Okay, so next you here, let me show you one more thing here in snippet. Okay, status code 200. All right, so status code is 200. Okay, this is the message, and 200 I'm passing the value, and we are getting 200. So let me execute. So status code is 200, it pass. All right, one more we have status code name has string something. Status code, status code name has a string. All right, I, so be careful, right? My cursor was inside this block, so it type here, that is wrong place, so control z. So if you want to write multiple assertions, so make sure your cursor point should be at the right place, otherwise it will print or it will insert at the wrong place. Okay, so status code name has a string. All right, so status code name has, okay, so here we can see, here we are getting the okay, right? So let me pass here, okay, let me run. Okay, status code name has okay. Okay, so if I update anything, one, let me trigger. Okay, it is failing. Okay, one, and okay, this is the response we are getting here. Okay, let me check whether this is a case sensitive or not. Let me type in a small letter. Okay, this is a case sensitive. All right, all right, now let me move on to next. So let me try to find one more thing. Okay, response time is less than 200. So what does it mean? So when I am triggering this API, if it is taking less than 200, then this will pass, otherwise it will fail. Okay, so pm dot response dot response time dot 2 dot b and below 200. So see how easy it is, right? I am not updating anything in this use case, so just let me click on send, it pass. Okay, let me make it fail. Okay, message same, let me say 2. Okay, see it fail. All right, 200. All right, now let me move forward. So if you want to verify anything like that should be null, or it should like, there is some requirement. Okay, so like if you are going to verify like per page should be null, okay, then how can we assert? So let me copy this. Okay, this is the inbuilt scenario. Okay, so just for your information purpose, like if you have any requirement where you want to assert, like that should be null. Okay, asserting null value. Okay, I'm giving bus simply this name. Okay, pm dot response. Okay, I'm holding in res dot total. Let me type res dot total, and here dot 2 dot b, and this would be null. All right. Okay, asserting null value. Let me hit on this button. Okay, asserting null value, asserting expected 12 and to be null, because this is the value we are getting 12 and I am trying to asserting this null. Okay, it is failing. So if you have any requirement where you want to assert the null, this is how we can achieve. And also we can give some message as well inside this. How can we give some message? We can give message here. Okay, and no, it should not fail. All right, this is how we can enter the message. Okay, this is a syntax. Let me see here. Okay, so here we can see here, no, it should not fail. So that is printing, right? Okay, all right, let me move on to next. Okay, so now let me show you one more assertion. Okay, like greater than or less than. Okay, so just let me copy. Okay, verify total page should be greater than 1. Okay, so this is we are getting 12 pages, right? So I am asserting this value should be greater than 1. All right, and pm dot expect res dot total I am getting here. Let me remove this message. Dot 2 dot greater than, and let me enter the 1. Okay, let me hit this. So I am running this 9 test cases. Okay, and here it is passing verify total page should be greater than 1. The actual value is 12, so if I give 12, that will fail because that is not greater than 12. Okay, so it failed. All right, let me correct. Now let me see opposite for this. Verify total page should be less than 100. All right, less than 100. It is passing. So all 10 test cases are passing and 2 are failing. So that we know the reason. One, this one equals 1. Two objects cannot be equal using by this method equals. All right, and other test case failing because of this null. Okay, that should not be null. All right, there are couple of more, right? If you want to use, just go through it all one by one. You will get much more idea. So this is what I want to cover in this session, and if I miss any assertion which we can use in in our project, so definitely I'll cover in my next video tutorials. So please keep watching my videos. if you are liking my videos, please hit on the like button and subscribe to my channel, and please share in your friend group. Thank you so much, guys.